And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this image and I'm going to drag it down here and just duplicate it. And I use a combination now. You'll see I import my images through Olympus. I then tweak them in Lightroom. I bring them into Photoshop, and now I use a combination of Photoshop and Nik software. And if you don't know what Nik software is, number one, it's free, so it's a really good bonus. And it's a phenomenal set of tools that you can really work on your images. And if you don't know how to use them, you know what, YouTube, Google's created a fantastic channel there just on Nik software. Explains everything in detail. Really awesome channel. Go check it out. So what I'm going to use is I'm going to use the Sharpening Pro 3 raw process, and I just zoomed way too much into my image, and I've already got a whole lot of control points set here, which I just need to delete and delete them. So first things first, let's move it around, select a focus. Let's show you what the whole image looks like. Focus, so you can see it is really bringing out some nice detail in there. So what we're going to first do is select control focus, because I don't want the whole thing sharpened. I just want certain little points sharpened, and my main ones are the hair. So bring it down, just cover the hair, press Alt, click on there and just drag it around the hair, and get your hair sharpened in there. I also like to do the eyes, and we just need to size it just so that it's around the eyes. And then I like to do lips as well. It's always a nice thing to do lips. Size the radius just around the lips, and hold Alt and move your little tabs around, and it duplicates them. And there we go. That's the sharpening around the lips done with the hair. You can see not major difference. So we're going to go in here, turn the layer on and off, and you can see that slight difference, and just bringing it back some more detail. And now, because we're working on a sharp object, you can see it's created a smart filter down the bottom here. So it's totally not actually affecting that raw image. And I'm going to go back, and I need to just add one more. I like using this filter as well. And the filter I love using here is dark contrast. And you can see my settings. Detail extractor is 30, brightness 30, contrast is at about -3, and saturation is at 20. And if you check before and after, you can just bring back nice detail. But if you look at the dress, that's where I'm focusing on. So now I'm going to add some control points. And control points just tell you where you want the effect to be focused or not focused. So now click Alt and just drag them around the dress, filling up the dress, and you'll see those details coming back in there, and just adding some nice contrast into them. So now we turn it on and off. You can see we've predominantly just affected that dress. Simple, done, press OK. Okay, now you see that image. It's got two smart filters on from Nik Collection. You turn it on and off, and you can see the very subtle changes that it's made. Okay, awesome. Let's quickly go in and just do one more thing, and we can. And if you see this menu here, I'm using the Wacom Intuos 4 tablet, and you can customize your menus. Really awesome. So if you see these, don't get frightened. I'm going to do a raw conversion to raw conversion. So basically what it does is I create a duplicate of a smart object that's below here. I go in, I've made a preset where I have desaturated the image, I've pulled my contrast down, pulled my highlight down, pushed my shadows up, and I pulled my blacks down, and I've added some clarity to the image. And that's all you generally need to do, is get a bit of a contrasty image to overlay. Press OK. What it's going to do is it's going to change that layer to luminosity, and it's going to add a filter mask, 50% gray on, so the effect's not too strong. But you're going to see here as well, it's going to duplicate these control points, which I don't want it to do. So immediately all I'm going to do is take my Color Effects Pro and delete that one. And then I'm going to take my sharpening tool again and delete that one, so it just leaves me with that raw layer. And you can see there, before and after, before and after, before and after, and I can do it forever. And what I'm going to do here is, all I'm going to do is really drop the opacity to about 50 to 70%. I'm going to take a black brush and I'm going to put it at an opacity of 40% black, and I'm just going to paint out some of the detail that's been put back into the skin, because it does make it a little bit more crunchy, and with all the freckles here, it does look a bit weird. Okay, and that's it. Next software, raw layers and smart objects, and you have created something that if you click on the bottom layer already, you can see there's a difference. So it's not actually, the top layer is not overriding it, and that's so cool.